guys, Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you another leftover technique. So these are the leftovers that we're going to be using, and it's just basically the remnants of a mica shift. Here's the project that we did with it, and that tutorial should already be out on the channel. There should be a link to that in the description below. But yeah, it's basically leftovers of this. You can use any leftovers you want for this. I would just recommend trying to get colourful leftovers because we are going to be covering it in some translucent cane work and also a silkscreen. So I've chosen something that has decent saturation. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to chop it up a little bit more because this one piece over here and here is a little bit too thick for my liking. So I'll just give it a little bit of a chop and then mix that up together and press that into a cane like so. Then I'm just going to cut that with a ripple blade. You can use a normal blade if you want, but the ripple will just create a slightly more intricate pattern and will also help encourage that metallic effect. Then just going to pop those pieces all together random, and this one I am going to cut in half because we have an uneven number of pieces. And then we're just going to flatten that out with a piece of paper. Just give it a nice burnish. You're just going to give it a burnish with a piece of paper like so until you've got it flattened out like so. And I know what size pendant I'm going to be using. It's going to be this little circle donut here, and so that's how much I've burnished it to. Put that to the side, and you're also going to have a nice back because it's going to be double-sided. But I'm going to put that to the side. We will work with that in a moment. For now we are going to actually create our cane. And so I've got a piece of translucent here that has been run out on my thinnest setting. And all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to be taking metal leaf, and I'm going to be using gold, but you can use any colour that you want. And I'm going to cover that sheet of translucent with the gold. Like so. And just do that the whole way up. Yeah, there we go. And let's just give me 1 second to just lift that up off the tile. There we go. And I'm going to keep all of that excess because we do have some on there. And I'm just going to cut it into pieces, and I'm actually just going to use the metal leaf pieces that I have to plan that out. And then I'll probably cut it in pieces one more time once I've stacked those. But yeah, you just got the translucent, then the metal leaf, and you're just going to stack them. And this will work with just about any metallic leaf. And it really isn't too important that they're exactly equal. Forgot that I actually put a little bit of leftover leaf in there, so they're not all exactly the same size, but that's fine. Just squish in those sides. Cut in half one more time and stack. And actually I will do that one more time. There we go. And you can see there how it looks. There we go. Then your job is going to be to press that together, and you're going to have to really put some muscle work into that, I guess, or as I sometimes say, elbow grease, to get those layers all to really stick together. And fold them over and make it all nice and neat and get it into a square. Okay, and I did end up stacking it one more time just because it wasn't tall enough for me to get this nice square piece out of it. So here's the top of the Murkumagano with the gold leaf, and here's the bottom, and so all the layers will be running down the sides like this. Okay, and this is what we are going to be using. Now when you cut it, you can use any blade you want. I'll be using a ripple blade today, and you can cut down the sides where there's layers, but generally this technique is going to work best if you cut it on one of the two faces. So I'm going to start with this one here. Yeah, you can see what that looks like, and it will become more apparent what it looks like once we've flattened it out. Okay, and this piece is going to be much thinner. This piece was a little thick because it was the beginning piece, but you actually want to try to cut these as thin as you can. If you have holes in them, that's perfectly fine as well. Just cut them nice and thin, because we're going to be putting them on top of the leftovers that we made before. So the thinner, the better. Now I don't want a whole lot of them, just a few pieces. And so this, what you've made here, should last you quite a bit. And you can put it on a lot of different leftovers and it will just improve it overall. Okay, and so now that we have done that, I'm going to just bring this over. And I'm going to bring over a silk screen of choice, and this time this one's going to fit our cutter. And I'm just going to pop that over the surface, just so that it's sitting in the middle. And this is just a nice jellyfish silk screen. Any silk screen you want will work. Okay, and I'm just going to grab some black acrylic paint, and I'm putting the silk screen down first before I put the, oops, didn't mean for that to happen. I'm putting it down before I put the gold leaf piece that we made down, just because I want to have the silk screen under them, and it will just create a nice multi-layered effect. There we go. And then just peel that up and clean your screen. Okay, then once the paint's dried, just going to grab my pieces and I'm going to lay that over the top. Okay, and I'm choosing the thinnest ones that I have, and I might even take it and break it up a little bit so that it looks a little less like just a piece of a square cane, and stick it down that way. But just pop them down how you wish. Might just rip that one up there because it looks a little square, and place them down how you wish. It really doesn't matter too much. Okay, and then once you've done that, okay, I am going to use piece of paper to burnish that down, like so. There we go, and that will have just flattened it out. Then line up your cutter and cut. And remember, the back of this piece will look nice as well, so we won't have to do any backing. And sanding will be basically non-existent as well, because we've got paint on here and you don't want to be sanding the silk screen off. So this will basically be done. This has been on a piece of paper, and I might just quickly spin this a little bit just to really clean up the edges. You can't do this with other shaped cutters obviously, but you might as well do it if you can. And I'm going to lift it up very carefully from that piece of paper because it's been stuck down to that. And you can see there how those frilly bits come off. And just lift it up slowly, don't rip it off. It might end up sticking to the paper a little and then you'll end up messing it up. There we go. Put that onto another piece of paper, and then I'm going to bake that for a full hour at Primrose recommended temperature. And here it is out of the oven, and you can see how nicely that translucent has cleared up, and you can see the silk screen pieces very easily under it. Here's the back. You can see that also looks quite nice. So now you could leave it exactly as it is if you wanted to. You could put a gloss varnish on it if you wanted to, but I'm going to be putting a UV resin onto it just because it's really going to bring out a nice shine and it will give it a glossy dome. And you can see there immediately how that shines up the piece. There we go. And you'll just spread that across the piece and then put it into a UV light for roughly 10 minutes to get it to set, and then you can apply it to your necklace of choice. Okay, and here it is out of the UV light. So I've just quickly popped it onto a necklace. You can string it however you wish, but this is how I've chosen to do it. And you can just see how nice and easy that was. It's a nice way to use leftovers. You can use any leftovers because it's just basically the background. You can also use any colour of metal leaf that you want. I'm using gold because it's a nice accent, but again you can use any colour of metal leaf, and the same goes for the paint and the silkscreen. You can do any design that you want. So anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do let me know in the comments below. If you would like to support the channel so I can continue making videos just like this one, please do consider checking out my Etsy store where I make a lot of the polymer clay tools and supplies that I use on this channel. And also, if you're interested, please consider becoming a member. There is a link in the description below to Patreon, and there's also a join button below this video. Both of them are exactly the same, but they both help support the channel and are greatly appreciated. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.